Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to the Canadian Cattle Farmer on Chilliwack, British Columbia. Now if you caught the live stream on the weekend, you would have seen we got 2 of our soybean fields harvested, which was a fantastic start. Got about 80,000 or 85,000 litres of soybeans into the bins, which is good to start with, but we've got lots more to do. However, the next few fields aren't quite ready yet, so we're going to make a bit of a start on some field prep with the fields we've harvested. Now we'll just jump into the mini-map and have a look at what we're going to be doing. So just taking a look here on the precision farming scorer, you can see the pH levels on 135 and 203, which have both been harvested. They're pretty low, so we're going to get them boosted. 195 was the other one with soybeans in it, which we've harvested, but I'm not sure whether we're going to keep this bit of farm. We may actually consider selling that once we get the all the feedlots and everything all set up. So for now, we're not going to bother about that. Our focus today is 135 and 203. So we're going to go and get some lime spread on both of those. And then if we jump back here into the soil composition, 203 needs to be ploughed. So we'll get out and get the plough running around on that one as well. And we'll probably try and get a cultivator on this one as well, so it's all ready to get planted into. Bearing in mind, we were talking during the live stream about merging all 3 of these fields. So we'll see, we might not worry about that too much, but we will need to plough that up. There's also some land area in here which we'd expand into. And once we get field 134 harvested, there's some land area in there we would look to expand into as well. So plenty still to do before we get back into our harvesting and get back onto the soybeans. So you can see here we've got the 4940 with the spreader on the back, and we've also gone and got the Strobel tender here. It's got 7,000 litres of lime in it. It'll be a help, but I don't know how far exactly that is going to go. So we're going to send these both on down to the field, head on down to where we had the corn and harvested that for the maize, and go and get some lime spread. So we're going to carefully navigate down here with the spreader. We do have a full hopper of lime, so it is weighing quite a bit. We've got the pickup there in front with the tender. They're heading down and driving down there using some auto drive, which is handy. So we'll get down there and make a start on the spreading. It'll be interesting to see how far this lime goes. Precision farming can be quite hungry sometimes, so let's get down there and see how much lime we use. So here we are. I'm just going to get straight into it. We'll get that turned on. We will bring up the mini-map down there so we can see that our pH levels are going up and turning nice and green. We've got it on automatic application rate, or at least we should, because that's what we were on last time. And so there we go. We are on and going with the lime now. Actually, before we go too much further, particularly at that pace, we're just going to turn this off very quickly. I've learnt my lesson too many times. We'll get these wheels widened out because I don't want to have a repeat experience of this spreader tipping over. So there we go. That is better and should be starting to spread again. Now we will try and set up a GPS course as we're running down one of the edges. We'll see how we go. It might be a little bit hard travelling at this speed because we do spread at quite a rate. And I'm just looking at how quickly the lime is going down. We might not run into too many difficulties. We may actually manage to get a decent amount of the spread without having to head back to the yard. So with that all done and said, let's jump straight into a little bit of a time lapse and see you when we're all finished. Well, that's pretty close to being the whole field finished. Just that little postage stamp piece in there that we couldn't quite do, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we're not going to bother bringing the spreader back over here just for that little bit. We'll just head on back to the farm. We've sent the pickup back over there, and we will go and get topped up with lime again from the silo, and we will go and do the field over the road. Back over here at the yard, we're just coming around to the resupply silos here. First one in the line is our lime one, so just pull in there and get some lime put into the hopper. We won't worry about using the tender, the little seed tender, because it is just over the road for this one, and I'm not actually sure on the field size whether this one might be a little bit bigger or not. But I was just having a think. Now, one of the issues we have, and as I was thinking about ploughing the field we were just down in and what we do with the one over the road, I think because we're going to increase the area of the field, I'm going to actually wait to actually cultivate it, and we'll do that all at once. I will have to come back in probably and lime these little areas that we're going to plough up and get them covered before, well, once they're ploughed, because we won't have any data on them at the moment. But what I might do is, we actually have, as I've pointed out before, we've got lots of these grass areas. You can see this one here, one over the other side there. We've got a bit of space in behind our behind the silos and on the corner there, as well as all the way down the far end, back where we were. We've just got lots of these little grass areas, and what I was thinking, we need some hay, and I know we planted our alfalfa to get some hay, but what I might do, instead of spending some time cultivating this field, we'll get down and plough the other one. We'll definitely get that done, but I might actually run around before the end of this episode with the swather mower and mow as many of these fields as we can, and actually get them started to make some hay. So I think that is what we are going to do once we're all done here and done with the ploughing. So we'll carry on, we'll get this field all spread. Now, the other interesting thing I did notice as we were liming is how the different pH rates that are already on the fields, how that affected our automatic application. Some runs I felt like we were going to chew through the lime and have hardly any left, and then other parts of the field where there was slightly higher pH already, it felt like we didn't use too much, which was interesting. I guess it makes complete sense, because the application rate's being managed by the existing pH rate, so or pH levels, so it completely makes sense. But anyhow, let's carry on here. We'll get this one done as well before moving on to the ploughing. And there we are all done. And now if we look back, there's probably going to be a big strip that looks like we missed it, but the pixels, there we are, pixels on the map showed that it was spread on. And in fact, if we just jump over here, have a look at our precision farming, you can see nice and green the whole way across. Our little square down there we didn't quite get done on that field, but interestingly how the automatic application rate works slightly differently. Didn't quite get that up as high. What is that, 6.5, whereas the majority goes to 6.7 or even 7 in this field's case. So interesting how that all works. But anyhow, that is the lime spreading done for now. So we're going to get things parked up and go and pull out to the big versatile, put the plough on the back, and we'll head down and get started work in the cornfield. There we are, all hooked up to the ripper here. So we will head on down the road back into the maize and get that field all ripped up. Now I was looking at that as well while we were down there, wondering if there's some way we could expand that field in and around the cow pasture, around the barn and everything like that, but I couldn't see a real logical way to do it, because it is right in the middle. Get out in front of that car, pretty much right in the middle of the field. There's really no options for anything to do, so we'll have a look when we get down there, but I just don't think there's going to be a chance. This car's going to get here before we get to the power pole. Anyhow, we'll have a look when we get down there. We're going to get overtaken. Crikey, traffic makes things a bit of a nightmare when you've got something big like this running down the roads. But let's head on down to the field and we'll have a look. So here we are down at the field now, just having a look at the area in here, which is where I was talking about expanding the field because of where the cow pasture, the silage bunker, everything like that we want to be able to maintain some access down there, so I just don't see any real benefit in ploughing any of this area up. I think what we might do, we'll definitely come down and mow this, get the grass off and see how it looks then, but we'll see if we can expand the field. I'm not sure if we own the bit of land that runs up there against the train tracks and the triangle in the corner, or whether that's a separate field. We will look at areas like this around the edge and just square this up, make it a little bit wider. We can probably go a little bit closer to the road as well. And there we go, that answers that question. No, we don't own this wedge down in here, unfortunately, so we are confined to just this rectangular sort of shape. So we'll see what we can do and get things tidied up. Let's just get this put into the ground. Not too close to the fence, because that'll become an issue when we come to harvest next time, whatever ends up in this field. But we will just back up here. I think that's about right. Get that lowered down. We have our create field mode on. We do. There we go. We'll get that moving forward and head on around the corner. Not too much benefit going too much closer to the fences there on the pasture, but we will just square things up just a little bit. Not perfectly, but at least tidier than it is at the moment. So that's once around the field, and we have added a little bit of area, but there really wasn't a huge amount we could grab around the edge of this one. So nothing lost, nothing too much gained, but nothing lost. So we are just going to carry on now and get this all ploughed up. It's going to take a wee while, a little bit longer than I thought. A little bit slower tractor and not quite as wide a plough, but it'll get it done. It'll get it done reasonably quickly, actually. Once we get into it and into some up and down rows properly, that should go relatively smoothly, I expect. So we'll probably... next time we chat, we'll be pretty much finished, so we'll see you then. And here we are, just getting the last part of the field finished and going well. as would be expected. Took a little bit longer than I thought, but that's fine. It is a job that needs to be done, and we've got it done now, which is good. And this field is now pretty much ready to be planted in when we decide what we're going to plant in it, and when we need to get that planted. Of course, we're heading into winter in Canada, so even though we are close to the US border here in British Columbia, it's probably still going to be fairly cold and snowy as we get there, so unlikely to have anything planted anytime soon. But let's head on back down to the yard. We'll get this all parked up. I will still go and get the mower. I was just contemplating whether we will do that in this episode or leave that for the next one, just as for timing and how long the episode might be. But I think with the liming and the ploughing, we might go and get one field done and get started, and then we can leave the rest to do another day. So at least we've made a start and see how it's going to work. Now we're going to have a problem here because the train's just been, and we look like we've got a whole lot of traffic coming. So we're just going to park here, let that all go past, if it will go past, and then don't know what we're going on. I've noticed the cars have been stopping. I don't know why that car has stopped. It should really go. It seems to be some sort of collision. It's happened on a number of occasions. I've noticed it happening. Anyhow, we'll leave them there. We'll get past best we can and get back down to the yard. We'll just park this back here on the grass. Now, two things I need to invest in for the yard. We do have a pressure washer in the shop, but of course we can't really get implements or anything in there to wash those. It's on the wall on the other side, so even though we can actually use it through the wall, we can't actually get it there to use. So that's one thing. The second is we need to invest in a fuel tank or something like that, because at the moment we've got no way to refuel our equipment. And one option I was thinking about, we could actually put it here next to the next to this little covered way, little covered carport or whatever it is. We could even put the diesel tank in under that to, one, protect it from the snow when it comes, and two, just as another way to use this and make it a bit more functional than just parking a gooseneck trailer in it. But that's for another day. We don't need to worry about it just yet. We haven't used too much diesel. So we'll head on down to the farm, just down that way, and go and grab the swather, the mower, and make a start on mowing a little bit of grass. Alright, we've come up here to this bit of land up here, and I was just practicing with the mower just to make sure everything worked, and fortunately I did, because I'm just going to show you this. Turn it on, put it down, and for whatever reason it is not dropping any grass. It's cutting it, but we're not getting any dropped. Now I don't know whether this is a clash or a mod conflict with Maize Plus, with the different conditions, or whether it's the fact that this mower has the conditioner on it which is causing the issues, or whether I'm running real mower which is cutting out some of those bushes and things like that, whether it is that mod. So that really is going to put a halt to us doing any more mowing at this stage, and foils those plans for the episode. So I think we will probably wrap things up here, and I will do a little bit more research. I'll do some testing off camera with just some base game mowers and things like that, see if they will work, and perhaps we have to look at replacing this little swather, which is a bit of a shame. I was looking forward to using it. I've used it a couple of times, but we might look at getting maybe the Vermeer trailed mower from the Vermeer pack and give that a go, because that would be quite an appropriate mower to have, and see if that works. So, well, like I said, best laid in plans sometimes just don't work, and if it's just a simple mod conflict we can sort out, then so be it, we will get that done. So that's a perfect place then to wrap up that episode. We'll be back with an update on whether we're going to be able to mow grass or not, and we'll go from there. So as always, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.